Welcome to the Weekend Show with Mediumjay. Let me adjust the microphone. It's Wednesday, people. Oh, let me get this cord out of the way, too. Let's fucking see if we can figure this out. Alright, there we go. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. A nigga late again. But that's how it goes, man. It's welcome to the weekend, or welcome to the week show with Mediumjay, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of weak shit, baby. You know what the fuck going on, man? It's roll up the rim in Tim Hortons. You know, for all the people in America that don't know, Tim Hortons is basically Dunkin' Donuts of Canada, and they got this weird thing called roll up the rim. And here's the thing, man. You don't win shit. I think it's a scam. It's like one of those McDonald's Monopoly things. You roll up the rim. They say people buy, you win car. You can win a car. You can win an ATV. They got Volkswagens. You can get like $5,000 cash or $1,000 cash. Big ass vacation. All of that shit. Never heard anybody ever win anything. People say they got you just get free coffees and a couple of free donuts or whatever. But I don't know. There's chances to win. I'm rolling it up and I'm like a fool. A gambling fool. I fucking roll these things up and lose. Please play again. Please play again. So I honestly think it's a big scam. I do think like it's the lottery is much like that movie The Island, with Scarlett Johansson and Ian McGregor or whatever, where like it's filmed by Michael Bay, which is such a weird movie. But the first half is like this dystopian future where it's like they're on this island, or no, they're on this compound, and it's like all futuristic. They're all locked up, and they all kind of are very. It's very dystopian, where it's like they're like treated as like children, and then I'll spoil it again. It's a fucking old movie. You guys should have seen it, so don't be mad. But the movie starts off like it's like you're like, what's going on with these people, and it's wild, right? They're like trying to get to the island, and it's like a lottery system, right? Like they just choose certain people who get to go to the island, right? And then come to find out, they've been like in this compound, and they were told that there's like the outside has been like there's like some nuclear fallout or something like that, and it's unlivable, so you guys can't go outside, right? It's essentially like if you tell, oh, there's a big virus and you got like a couple people locked in your basement, right? Like that's to a larger scale what they had. And then come to find out, right? And the island was like this magical sanctuary where you could live on a beautiful island resort, and it's a getaway, permanent vacation type shit. It's all beautiful, whatever. Fast forward, right? They go outside and they realize like, oh, outside's, you can breathe in the air. It's not poisonous. But then they slowly find out that they've been cloned, which fucking was a big plot twist. They were clones, and when people get sent to the island, they get sent to the island to essentially be like the rich people's donors, right? So like if a rich person, puts in his clone policy, has his clone, just, you need your parts grown and stuff like that, and whenever he needs like a new kidney or something, it's fucking, you bring them to the island, and in the island it's just a lab where they dissect the person, and then they get a perfectly genetically matched, what blood type and all that shit. Fucking genius movie, but it's like Michael Bay I think he ruined it with all that explosions in the end, because then it made it too flashy. It made it Michael Bay when he was going for M. Night Shyamalan, kind of more like if he had it like I don't know, like instead of more blood and guts and stuff like that, get more psychologically fucking twisted on that. But anyway, this is a good movie, but that's how I feel the lottery system is for most people, right? My mom plays Kingsman jackpot bingo day in and day out, right? And this is fucking legit. Like, she won not the main prize. The main prize is like 800,000, or it's almost at $1 million, right? It's a big prize, but she won like the consolation prize, which you go 10 grand. All right, 10 grand prize is nice, right? But here's the problem. 169 players won it or something like another 100 and something. So if you do the math, right, she ended up winning only like $142, right? So you're like, yo, you won a 10 grand. Congratulations. Here's a check for 104. And again, I legitimately played the lottery not quite a bit. I do when I was younger. I would play those lotteries, and I just because I would. My name's Medium, right? So I'm like, I gotta channel my medium brain. I gotta channel my fucking inner psychic. I see, and like, I was one of those guys, those stoners that would be like seeing through the matrix. Like, I got these numbers. I have a good feeling about these random set of numbers that I'm just picking. But I remember being like in the lottery. I'm like picking these numbers, and I'm like, I got a good feeling about these numbers, and I won. I don't know, Lotto 649 or whatever. It's like, or Lotto Max. It's like 7 numbers, right? I got like 5 numbers, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing, right? Like 5 numbers out of the whatever in the whatever row. I'm like, this should be a lot of money. It was like $100. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what the fuck? I should have had like more money. Like, I'm like, this literally probably just paid for all the tickets that I bought where I didn't win, right? And like all the like $10 Kingsman bingo tickets my mom won is probably like that 100 and whatever. It just pays for it. And she's like, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of fed up with that. I'm like, that's gambling, right? Like all of those people that win the lottery, I'm like, how much did you spend? Because like over the course of your entire year, I honestly don't think that they do give out millions of dollars to random people, right? Like life would be too chaotic. And the weird thing is they don't always win. So I heard like there's like, you're a fool. Like someone was breaking down the conspiracy of it, and they're like, yo, you're a fool if you don't, because all of it gets registered. All of it's through a computerized software. You have to register the numbers, right? You can't just pick the numbers secretly, because they have to know that you had those selected numbers in order to win. You can't, because again, if you buy the ticket or whatever and secretly write down the numbers while they're being called, right? So it's the catch-22, but they also have the numbers where you could go, well, let's just pick out a system of numbers where no one has them yet, right? There's a combination of numbers that no one's picked. Okay, we'll pick those numbers, and then we'll okay, no one won this, everyone clear the boards, we'll raise up the jackpot, we'll put in 10% of all the money that we made from that week's lottery onto the next lotto jackpot or whatever. That's why it goes up and it gets to a certain height, and it gets to a certain height. They like when it gets to a certain height, because the more amount of people, casual players go, well, it's hit fucking 80 million. When the lottos get to 80 million, you go, who knows, right? And it gets a lot of casual players. So I think they always do that type of shit. And who knows, maybe they do give out the money and it gets taxed to shit and all and yada yada yada. But I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of millionaires retiring off of a cup of coffee, right? You know what I mean? I don't roll up the rim. Oh shit, you won the biggest prize yet. You got a nice car or something, right? Whatever. Yeah, I think it's all a scam, but that's just my conspiracy brain. Speaking of scams, Elon Musk. I don't know. I can't tell, right? I can't tell this guy. He's either like a lunatic or a genius. There's a fine balance, right? And many geniuses are very silly. Elon Musk wielding a chainsaw at the I don't understand what's the point of that. I think he was supposed to be like, I guess he's creating a meme, or he's creating something for people to talk about. But he's like, he pulled out the chainsaw and he's like, this chainsaw is for, to cut up democracy or something like that, to cut up chainsaw of democracy. It's just wild. You're on stage waving a chainsaw around, you know what I mean? You could hurt somebody, you could hurt yourself, you could hurt someone in the audience. It's just crazy, right? Like he had that thing with selling flamethrowers a few years back or whatever, which was very silly too. But again, like a guy like that, like I'm sure he's not told no. So like whenever he has like those kind of fucking sketchy ideas where he's just like, um, shit, I got what do I got? I got 10 minutes to kill on stage. Chainsaw. And that's a brilliant idea, Mr. Musk. Let's get to it, right? I'll hand you the chainsaw so it doesn't look forced, right? And we'll bring up the chainsaw as a spur of the moment thing, and he goes, "I am become meme," and it just doesn't hit, right? Like you get that secondhand cringe watching it, and you go like, "Oh, like this guy is like not mildly autistic. This guy is like deeply like." To get that smart and to be where he is and all that stuff, it's like, and it's funny, man. Donald Trump, I truly believe like Donald Trump is a genius in a sense where he's like, we're gonna drain the swamp and we're gonna get all this shit together, but I need the help of literally a super genius guy, and I'll give him the like a little attention that he wants and everything like that, but like, let him do most of the work in terms of like, ridding the systems, governments that was in power of you know what I mean? Where like they're draining the swamp, but I mean Elon Musk and his little fund of Doge employees, which is probably a lot of super genius autistic nerds, are doing all of that shit. And the biggest thing like nerds they want to be known as like cool. They want to be so like Doge has become like it's kind of getting into like they're the nerds that are friends with the fucking football guys, and the football guys are like, yo, they do our homework. Every now and then we bring them to the party. You know what I mean? Let them speak about whatever bullshit nerdy science. Let them talk about the latest Star Wars or fucking how Lord of the Rings has fallen off, and you know what I mean? Let them talk about that bullshit garbage, and then we'll, have a party, get them drunk, and then we'll fucking go then we'll kick them out at the end of the day, right? I feel as though like that's what's kind of going on with these fucking nerds, with Elon Musk. But again, like there is a little bit of I want to say a little bit of like there's a lot of things that are uncovered in all of this shit, where when they bring up some of the stats on what Doge has found and how much they're slashing like bullshit funding, I always knew that funding was kind of weird, like the DEI, diversity, equity and inclusion, or whatever, equality and inclusion, whatever it is. There's like they just send money. I know that it's a front, like with Black Lives Matter too. When I was like, so these people are all getting this money, and it's like it's going to this. I'm like, it's very hard if you're getting like these government approved grants and shit like that, like and they do that with natives all the time, right? Like there's like the government has their plan, the natives have their plan, and they're going like, well, you want to dig for a bunch of resources on our native land, so they go in, well, your community needs water, right? Your community has dirty water, you got we'll give you a bunch of money. Here's a bunch of money, you do what you need to do for your community, and then you kind of look the other way while we come on your land, and we're digging for our, so they get a bunch of money settled. They get the government gets their resources. The people at the top get their money, but at the end of the day, they go, my community's still fucked, and I'm not gonna take the money that I needed for me and my family, and whatever. I want to be rich ass motherfuckers, and that's how you become rich in politics is turning a blind eye to the majority of your people, right? And it happens a lot with natives. It happens a lot with white people. It happens a lot in Africans, man. There was this guy I was working with yesterday, actually. This guy from Nigeria, and he's like, I hate Nigeria, right? Like he's like, I hate like my country and everything because it's so corrupt. Like I love where I'm from and everything, but I hate the people that get to the top and it's all corruption. And I go, yeah, it sucks because right, like China will come in and give you guys money and then start digging, because Africa has an abundance of resources in terms of minerals, all the best kinds of diamonds, all the best rocks you want, right? Cobalt, lithium, all of the metals, all that shit. It's all just a fucking safe haven in Africa. But a lot of majority, they don't have the equipment or the technology to really extract and excavate it at a precise level. So China comes in, gives the guys at the top a bunch of money. The guys at the top go, well, we could emulate what they've been doing. We could replicate what they've been doing. Hell, hire a bunch of fucking Chinese workers to fucking build the shit for you or buy their equipment off of them. But they just go, you know what? I'm just going to live like a king now, right? Like, I'm just going to take that money instead of use it to help my people. I'm going to fucking, ball out. And I go, in Canada, it's, don't get it twisted, man. It's the same thing, man. The same thing applies, right? Like white people at the top are at the top, right? And if you don't play by those rules too, and it's very cutthroat in terms of that, but it's all like disguised, right? It's all covered up, right? In terms of like, if you're in Nigerian politics, a guy might just like sock a punch at one of the other political candidates, right? Those two guys bickering, they might just throw punches, right? I've seen, a few years back, I seen like when they're ruling a new president of Africa or whatever, then it started like they started throwing chairs. The niggas started throwing chairs like it was a WWE match, which was crazy. But in Canada, it's still like that. But it's like behind closed doors. No one's being recorded. We do these secret handshake deals. Like again, what? And you gotta ask yourself, like, what's going on with Trudeau, right? Like, he resigned. He's still, I think, technically in power. He resigned until saying you resigned and then doing absolutely fuck all. Like, you gotta ask, what is he truly doing with the money, the tax? Like, he's still in power. It's like saying I quit and then show up to work and then close my blinds and you go like, what is that guy doing? He quit, didn't he? I resigned, but I'm gonna resign till the next time I'm voted out, like till the next election. Which I think in Canada they call the election or something like that. So it's again like it's usually, I remember the elections were before American elections, so, or maybe slightly after American elections. But either way, I'm like trying to get a grip on like, when is the elections in Canada? And again, your boy's got a criminal record. And here's the corrupt part about life and society. Batman, society made me the way I am. Society made me a villain. Society is why corruption exists. Society is why bad men do bad things, Batman. Society. But here's the thing about society, man. And it pisses me off to this day. Dude. Fuck. I legitimately got my fucking criminal record check, right? I was like kind of hyped because I didn't get anything back, so I'm like, so I guess that doesn't exist. I go all the way down to the police station to figure it out. They don't know. Spent 20 minutes there questioning what's going on. They fucking said, oh, it got sent in the mail, but it just disappeared, right? Like, it just disappeared in my, like, I'm like, okay. But, like, so that means that if it probably, there's someone with my fingerprints, a list of, my history, all of my fucking information. Because you have to give 2 pieces of ID. You have to give this. You have to give your fingerprints. You have to give a verification to get your criminal record. So that's all just sent to some random dude's house. And some random dude sitting there with my information, probably copies of my photo ID, all of that. And they're like, they're like, it's like that fucking Tom and Jerry meme. Like, shrugging your shoulders. What? We could just fill it out again for free of cost because we literally charged, you charge you like, what is it? It's like $80 for the criminal record, $90 for the fucking fingerprints or whatever. So you go 100, I'm out almost like 200. And when I drove there, I got a ticket. So I was like $40 for the ticket because I thought I could park there. I guess there's a certain amount of time that you're not allowed to park. And there's only one little sign that says you're not allowed to park there. I'm like, because it's in between the hours of rush hour. So I'm like, well, I wish I fucking seen the little sign in the police officer's thing when I parked there, but I was too busy trying to giving all my IDs, giving all my shit, getting fucking multiple fingerprints, done. And it's like, fuck, man. I really hope that my lawyer said I don't have a criminal record. They said, my probation officer said that I'm not even allowed to fucking go to America. And I go, fucking, it's bullshit, man. Like, I should have been in jail for 3 weeks. 3 weeks because I couldn't get in front of a judge to fight my case, and I just wanted to plead out. It turned to 3 months because that's the nearest time when somebody could see you. And I couldn't get bail because my mom thought I wasn't allowed to be back in the building. Turns out I'm not allowed to be back in the building or the apartment suite that I lived in. I got evicted from the apartment suite, and they banned me from that specific suite, the landlord. But this building I'm allowed to be in. I'm not allowed to be in whatever contact with the guy. And I asked my lawyer, I go, because I'm going to be in the same building, most likely. I'm literally homeless if I'm not living with my mom right now. And she said, well, if you see him, just turn the other way. And I go, okay. Like, and that was it. So I could have gotten bail. I could have been out so much sooner, but my mom was like, getting all these things in the mail saying you're banned, and I go, read through them and tell me. She's like, I don't know where they are, I don't know. And I go, then how do you know I'm not allowed? But that's neither here nor there. I spent fucking literally 3 months in jail. That 3 months shouldn't fucking fuck over my entire next 5 years from when I get pardoned, because I'm like, man, it's mental illness, right? I dealt with mental illness. I know for a fact I'm not gonna chase down these dudes that fucking called the police on me. I'm not. If I would have already, like, I've had multiple opportunities where I could have fucking probably just committed more crimes or whatever, right? Like, it's one of those things, man. And I don't like how once I'm part of the system, right? Like, I have this thing where it's like, now I gotta do, like, it's tag. It's like the behavioral, I don't know, some sort of fucking teaching awareness group therapy or something like that. And it's like thinking awareness group or something like that. It's like I gotta do, like, it's like anger management or like just behavioral therapy type shit for probation. And here's the thing, it starts March 17th. Right, I'm going March 17th for my probation thing to do a little group for literally 5:30 to like 8:30, and they go, don't come anytime earlier because the doors open at 5:30. So you go, you can't even show up early. You got to come right on time. I'm sure after like 5:45 they just shut the doors because they're busy doing. So it's like that like specific thing where it's like, and it's on a Monday. So it's like on a Monday. I drive truck for a living. Most of the time, my Mondays are literally I'm getting off at 5:30. So I'm like, I'm stuck in that realm where it's like I either gotta literally book off work for the next, March 17th, March 24th, and whatever, March 31st. Those 3 weeks of doing the next, I lose out on a Monday's pay again. And I go, why? Like, if I have a job specifically where I'm so busy, like, my fucking, this, my probation officer should just go, listen, man, like, all I do is, right, she was all mad at me or whatever, but it took, like, weeks to fucking, I'm like, I now Tuesday, I'm like, my Tuesdays are really busy, actually, like, my Tuesdays I'm working, like, 12 hours, start at 5, go to 5, and I'm, like, honestly so tired, sometimes it ends up at being, like, 5 to 7, 5 to 6, 5 to 8, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Real late. I'm like, I don't want to race down to go to probation and just go, have you been arrested since? They just go through the 5 questions. Have you been arrested? Have you, committed any crimes? Have you, you have any more court dates? Do you any more things added to you, condition? And I go, no, 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 no. And that's it. And they go, great. We'll schedule again next month, right? Like, so I'm like, yo, this is something you guys could do on the phone, right? Because a guy coming in, and I don't know, honestly, like, you can only go like, okay, this guy's like clearly high on like PCP or something, like to really like for what they do. But dude, like the drug dealers, like the guy literally that I was talking to, this fucking dude, he's like, I don't have a job. I fucking sit at home, sell drugs and make my money and this and that. Don't tell these people shit. Whatever you do. And I'm like, but I'm doing the right thing. I can tell them the truth when I'm not you, bro. He's like, don't tell these people shit. You just get in there, get out, tell them some bullshit, tell them whatever you want and do it. Go fuck off. And I go, I don't have conditions. I could still do drugs. I could still fucking drink. I don't have any conditions other than don't talk to the people that I threatened, right? So it's like, again, like, I threatened some people, don't talk to them. That's so easy to do, right? Hell, even stop threatening people. And hell, man, I even, like, the craziest thing is, man, the guy that I threatened, my old neighbor, his dad was talking to me a few weeks back. And I was tripping off edibles too, so I wasn't ready for this. But this guy was like, man, my son, like he almost tried to step to me, kind of thing, like, yo, if you're trying to threaten. And he's like a short guy, whatever. I really liked his daughters. I really wanted to fuck both his daughters. His daughters, fucking these two little half Filipino, half Chinese, half Americanized bitches, right? Just Canadianized bitches, or just fucking little fucking Chinese chicks, bro. Just beautiful chicks, right? Oh, beautiful chicks. He made beautiful daughters, right? And smart, hard workers. But for whatever reason, I thought like he was a threat. Like I'm gonna threaten their brothers, and that'll get me talking. That'll get them talking. Again, I was fucking through drug-induced schizophrenia, like just gone, kind of not sleeping, stressed out about fucking the fact I lost my job, for whatever reason, thinking I'm never gonna work again. Trying to deal with my pending cases that were already, scheduled and stuff like that. And on the night of when I was supposed to go to fucking court and deal with the fact that I fired my lawyer, all of that shit pertaining to that, I just pulled a knife on the guy and I just said, yo, just shut up, man. Like, just be quiet. I gotta get some sleep, bro. Like, just stop fucking around. And then he was like, it was one of those, like, what are you gonna do, bro? Like, what's going on, man? And he didn't leave it alone, so I just kept, like, and once you pull a knife out on, it's like, you can't just go, oh, sorry, my bad, let me just go back home. It was one of those things where I was, like, in that, like, yo, dude, stop being the nana boo boo type guy, like, oh shit, he'd run away for a little bit and go, like, what's going on though, bro? Like, you good, bro? Like, and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, why? Like, you're running away talking shit to a guy that's chasing you with a knife. And I felt like fucking whatever, the stupid Michael Myers type shit where he's just running real slow. But it's like, he was scared, but it's also like, just why are you fucking with that? But his fucking dad was talking to me, and I was like, and I tried squashing it. I'm like, yo, listen, man, I'm sorry, man. I went through some stuff. I was dealing with drug addiction. Just having I was drunk and as high, and honestly, I didn't get any sleep, and my mental illness was at like an all-time, like, just stress in my life. I laid that all out, and he kept going like, so, like, if you want to pull a knife out on somebody, why don't you do that to me? And I go, dude, like, if I don't want to do that. And he kept trying to push me into that lane, and I go, like, dude, like, you're a little Filipino dude, like, I literally am like double your size. And I was like looking down, like, I'm like, I don't want to hurt you, man. I don't want to fucking hurt anybody, bro. I miss talking to your daughters. It was fun talking to your daughters, bro. I don't know why I picked your son. It could have been anybody that was there. I probably would have fucked with them, right? Obviously, I probably wouldn't have fucked with an old dude like him. He's an older man. But I was talking shit to old people in the building. I was fucking talking to the cleaning ladies, like treating them like trash. It was like not me, not who I was, a terrible representation of who I was. And I feel like some like I see these posts on like social media where it's like for the people that are going through mental illness, it's like once you're done or whatever, like once like, but it's like you're still fucked over there. Like he was telling me like, yo, he's like legitimately like scared and all this stuff, and I go, I don't know, like if you want, the only thing I could do is just straight up be a man and apologize to him. But he put, you know, there's restrictions, like there's restraining order against it, and I don't know, like I don't know what to do to like. There's no real fixing what I did. It's just kind of out there. It's some bullshit that like I could just be a better person, right? Like we all make mistakes. I'm sure that I'm sure if I were to analyze your life specifically, I could go, yo, you're a piece of shit right there. You're this and that. And I'm never going to forgive you for that specific thing. But most people's things aren't on records. Most people's things aren't on things. The problem with dealing with mental illness is usually you wind up in, you know, I remember when I was in the mental hospital, there was a guy like, yo, I'm literally fucking stuck in this weird zone where I'm trying to get, because he had mental illness, but when you're just sitting here, like right now, people will go, that's not real. Your mental illness isn't real, right? Like it's just, but it pops up in sporadic cases, right? Like the guy was stressed out trying to get this native dude, and he was a genius, right? He wrote books that were very Ted Kaczynski-ish, but like smart, technocratic, dystopian, machine, futuristic type shit. But obviously he was just a writer. He was a genius writer. But I remember he was telling me, he's like, I tried to get workers' comp or something like that for my, like I'm dealing with stress, but there was nothing that's like my job and the boards denied it because they go, you're not crazy, you just, maybe you're a little depressed, you have to go to work every day. And he's like, it got to a point where I was just fed up, and the only thing I did was I just ran down the street naked. Right? I just ran down the street naked. The police tackled me down with my dick swinging out, and then, you know, that's when, you know, the mental illness thing had to come in. He got a public defender to claim mental illness, and he's like, it worked. I'm in the mental hospital, and I'm getting my checks from my job, and I'm like it's crazy to do that, right? Like that's a crazy thing, but it's like you had to almost prove they'll stop fucking with me, right? Like stop fucking with me. Otherwise, you just eat shit. He would have just been working depressed and probably built up a point where maybe he is suicidal or whatever it was, man. There's some things where it's like, and the world tends to go, you're really crazy, bro. You know, the push. You gotta push. You get these pushes where it's like, you ain't really fucking pull a knife. You crazy. You ain't crazy, bro. Like you ain't really. Like, because bro, I'd be walking past that same dude, my neighbor, and he'd just say, bitch. You just do that type of that's the type of shit where it's like it aggravated you to a point where it's like you got to do something. But at the same time, I shouldn't have done it. I honestly, the majority of me in my life is I avoid fights because I go, it's never worth it. Even when you win fights, you don't win, right? The legal ramifications versus also like shit. You know, you get a good punch in even when you get cut up, bruised. You know, you're all tired. You don't feel right for the next couple of days. It's never worth it. Every time you fight, it's even when you win, it's not fun. And the society doesn't really reward fighting in the street, right? If you're a boxer and all that stuff, yeah, you go make your money. But even then, boxers and MMA fighters, like it's like, here's the thing: and we'll just be talking. Is Israel Adesanya? Dude, he's a bum now. He's just getting knocked out left and right? Like, what's his name? Strickland. Recently, a few weeks back, he just got, laid out. These guys suck. His coach, Strickland, dropped his... I remember literally last year listening to fucking him on Joe Rogan, and everyone going crazy about him fucking, winning the beating Adesanya, right? And he was this like Strickland's, pound for pound the best fighter, all this shit. He just got laid out. These guys get laid out. Like, it's the change time. They used to be like, Anderson Silva, right? Chuck Liddell. Those motherfuckers were like on top for. It couldn't have been the same amount of time. A year? No, they were on top. It felt like, and I think it's because maybe the fighters may be taking more fights nowadays. Like they used to be, I don't know, every. I don't believe that. Well, how many fights in a year did Anderson Silva? This is why I don't keep up with that shit. This is why I should probably keep up with that. I should probably get Taylor on the podcast, to be honest. He'll kind of break down, and we'll just geek out about all of that MMA stuff. But I want to know why is it that the changeover rate, like I remembered, like when I was young, maybe felt a little bit different because I was younger, but I remember like guys like Rampage Jackson and Rashad Evans. And the weird thing is, John Jones is probably the only guy that's literally like Floyd. He's Floyd Mayweather of this shit. Like he's still reigned from that. But there's guys that come up, right? Like Conor McGregor was big for a while, up until like he kind of fucked up when he fought fucking Floyd Mayweather in some boxing bullshit. Because I guess he took so much time off of not doing ground game that it fucked him up, and he got fucked up by Khabib, Khabib, oh my god, I'm gonna get him off. Oh my god, get him off. Khabib, oh my god, get him off. But I don't know, man. Khabib, personally, like he's one of those guys too that I go, he's just a killer. He's like, and he retire, right? Because if he kept fighting, he would probably right now be like, oh, this guy's trash. And I don't know, like what it is about people. I personally think with fighting, there has to be some sort of legacy. But most of the guys look at it, I guess, as a job, or like I don't know, like a pride thing, where it's like I just gotta prove to the world, like Rocky, right? Like Rocky, there's so many times in the movie Rocky where you go, you're a bum, Rocky. You don't got it anymore, man. Just stop, man. Like, and then there's guys that are ringers out there. There's just nobodies that got like records 0-36 boxers, and the fighting, and that's what I don't like about fighting, where it's like as quick as they love you and hoist you up on, and you got the champ, next week you go in the ring and you get your ass kicked, and you're everybody's just looking side-eyeing you like you ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like there's only two people. There's a winner and a loser. You're going in there 50-50ing it every single time, bro. Like, unless you're training and how well you're doing it. But even then, man, people get caught. There's guys that like, I don't know, Brendan Schwab, apparently I was watching a breakdown of how shitty he is. He was like a shitty guy that just got lucky a lot of times in the UFC. In his first few times, he was just got a few clean knockouts. He just swung a punch, got lucky, and knocked out a badass motherfucker. And then throughout that, he rose to the ranks, and Joe Rogan had to sit him down and go, "You're not built for this shit, right? Like you gotta go into podcasts and go into comedy, go into whatever. I'll help you out. You're my friend, and I love you, and I don't want to see you do this to yourself because you literally have not been taking fighting seriously." And I think nowadays most people, like especially like guys like Connor and fucking the showman guys, they don't take it that seriously. Like it's like to have like Sean Strickland go off that much on the press conference, like, dude, start a podcast, bro. like you know what I mean? You got your like 15 minutes of fucking fighting, and he was a good fighter, whatever, stand-up game. But I think after like getting 2 or 3 defeats in a row, right? Like, and I always thought that it sucks like that. But at the same time, you get older, maybe your confidence slows down, you end up sucking, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's like, it's just you gotta hang up the gloves eventually, right? No one wants to see the Mike Tyson shit with fucking Jake Paul, where he's like, yo, come on, man. And they got their money and everything, but like, it was one of those things, man. Like, it's all for show. All of it's like just show. It's become very TikTok-esque kind of thing, like, where it's like you watch fights, and even like good fights that go the distance, it's just boring. After a certain point, it bores fighting, and that's why I don't like fighting. I mean, well, I like it, but it's definitely lost its edge. I think, but also maybe I'm getting older. I'm fucking 30, guys. I'm fucking 30, about to be 30 fucking 1. And like a lot of this shit, like, maybe I'm losing testosterone. I'm at that point. You know what I mean? I'm lost the edge for life. Things don't hit the same. Hip hop isn't like it's. I was listening to the Billboard charts, and honestly, you know what? As much as I like to talk shit about new music, the music, a lot of it sounds the same, right? It's always gonna sound the same. There's only so many times you can reinvent the wheel before you just have, you know, solid, decent wheels and tires or whatever and rims. But fucking Billie Eilish, like, honestly, I was thinking the other day about Billie Eilish. I was like, this is like this little fucking creepy lesbian chick, goth emo bitch, right? You go like this dumb big titty individual pansexual chick that talks like this and you know, this my bad, I'm the bad guy. You know, her song, you go, that's one hit wonder type shit. And then I was like, you know what? Hold on a second. Because there was a couple of songs where she's just, you see her having fun in a mall and shit like that. And I was like, okay. You know, and then these next few songs that are her last few hits, has got Birds of a Feather Flock Together is a very beautiful, it's like a sonnet almost. It's very beautiful. And I appreciate that as like, that's one of those songs where you go, ooh, that's good, and she sings. But a lot of these girls nowadays, and most music that charts Billboards is like sad girl, sad boy type, like, the world is done and I'm just so depressed and I've been thinking, and it's like a whisper sing-songy, you know, like almost like the world got, you know, a vaccine that fucked up their voice that they can't really project in a certain octave anymore, right, people? But that's neither here nor there. But I think that Birds of a Feather song is a really good song, and Wildflower, where she's, I guess, talking about her lesbian relationship. I really enjoy Billie Eilish. I enjoy her music, but it's just not for me. Like that, I go, it's just so like sad girl. Like, I got my dreams and ambitions and all of the, like, I'm famous, but right? Like, it's a lot of these girls get really, Tate McRae too, right? Like, she's literally like, I remember that song where I'm like, this literally changes me for pop music nowadays. That Tate McRae, You Broke Me First. That's such a good song. I don't know how you can really replicate it, but she went into like dance pop music and like, and I don't know, like, again, things, I guess, nostalgia is gonna hit always, and you're always, when you look at the new stuff, you always can be critical at the time, but I do believe that there is something going on with the projection of reality in the future. You know, the reality of future is that the new things tend to be cut down with most people. Society will tell you, you know, we I guess because we're trying to shape the best things possible. So we when we first get something, we go, this sucks, and this sucks. That's right. Send it off. But then when you look back at something, you go, well, I did enjoy these aspects of it. And you go, actually, at the time, looking back, hindsight 2020, I enjoy these little things. I enjoy these little wins that product or that musician or that architecture, right, had. But in the grand scheme of things, it just seems though that when you look at life, and especially like trying to get like I'm trying to just save up to buy an apartment. I want to buy a condo, and like I just looking at like how much money is gonna be, how much like to get ownership of something. It sucks that corporations have the ability, right? Like you can own a corporation and then that shit. I don't want to be competing with buying a house with like fucking McDonald's or whatever, like some McDonald's shell corp where they got a bunch of funding. They could just throw money. You know what I mean? The asking price is $250,000 for an condo, 1-bedroom condo. And you go, well, I saved up. I can get a loan from the bank and all this approval, and it'll take me 6 months to do it. And then the McDonald's, they just buy it in cash at $50,000 above asking price or whatever. And it's like you can't really compete with those corporations versus individuals. I fucking don't like that. Guys like BlackRock are able to buy up the majority of the well commuted, well fucking infrastructure, well-to-do things, and then everything's jacked up to a ridiculous price. And then they go, now that we have it, we can literally just sit on it. Like, I mean, it's like we write off that as if no one's in there, write it off as like business expense, right? Like those little things. I don't even know if you could do that, but I'm assuming they probably do on some weird shell corp. They do this, that, and the third thing to just go, all right, well, like we have all these people, but no one's affording rent to live in there. And the people that do, we take the amount of money they rent, and if it's like an expenditure, we get it back at the end of the year anyways. So it's like they don't risk anything. If you're a single individual buying 4 or 5 properties, you're risking your fucking ass. But if you have a corporation, you could just go bankrupt. You know what I mean? You could go bankrupt on the corporation and it has no real effect. But as a person going bankrupt, it's a completely different thing, and it fucks your personal credit or whatever up for a while. So like again, don't make me have to tell you again about BlackRock and their fucking shady business dealings, because it's like the more I talk about it, it's depressing, man. And I guess that's where the majority of the depression comes from, where it's like, yo, you really do need like $1 million a year just to be comfortable, right? Just so you can go, I'll buy this house, right? And I'll live in a nice white picket fence with a car that I paid off, right? Like that, it's like $1 million, you're a millionaire, which is crazy to really, if you say that out loud, right? You want to buy a single man and you look after your family, you basically have to fucking have, $100,000 a year isn't really cutting it nowadays when eggs are $15, you know what I mean? Eggs are $3 per egg nowadays, whatever the egg price is. I went to the superstore the other day, $30 to $40 for a steak, just a steak, a nice cut steak, granted, prime cut steak, but the low end quality steaks that I used to get as the prime steaks, which were like $15, $16, sometimes they wouldn't even, sometimes $20 for a big one. But now that same, they're cut like smaller, they're not as well to do, and they're the same price as what the prime one was. The prime one's fucking double. You're paying for one steak $30 to $40. And I remember going like, yo, if I go to say like a fancy restaurant, like $30, $40 you're dropping on a steak or whatever, but you get the atmosphere, you get someone cooking it for you, you get it done like a professional grill, you got the drinks and you got the little bit of mashed potatoes, maybe some green beans or some fries on the side, right? You get that whole atmosphere of like, you're at a restaurant, you tip, and I mean, it would still come up to like, $40, $40, right? Now you're probably like, I remember there's like the Wagyu steak. My buddy was telling me it's like a $99 steak, but it's fucking good. I just go like, that's ridiculous. But now it's like, you're just getting an average, two slices of average steak, not Wagyu or anything. $99. I can't imagine what the most expensive steak you can get at a restaurant is now. But like, imagine getting one cut of steak for like $200-300, right? You're just like, you know what I mean? You're gonna drop $200-300 on, and it might be the best steak you ever had in your life, but it's just a fucking cut of a cow, bro. Unless that cow was like a immortal being in God, like a godly cow, right? Like it was like some like majestic elephant meat or some shit, you know what I mean? Something exotic, right? Okay, give me that, but I don't know. Nowadays, man, I'm just, and it's like nowadays with meats and all that stuff, I'm trying to get back on. I've been losing weight, which is nice. Trying to get back on my meat diet. With the job that I have now, I got enough money I can afford to fucking get cuts of meat and fucking stock my shit with jerky, so that, cause and here's the thing, I was eating peanut butter sandwiches day in and day out for my lunches at work. And I don't know what it is with peanut butter and bread and but like, it's such like, bread it's the cheapest meal you could have. You can save money on it, granted. But like, there was like, I was so tired. Like, I would wake up tired, and I'm getting out of that where I'm like, now, I'm there's days when I don't even need sleep, which I'm like, what is going on? Maybe I was just, because I would be sleeping 12 hours days, bro. 12, like on my days off, 12-hour sleeps. Like, and then now I'm used to that length of sleeping, so I'll sleep, but I'll be sitting there going like, for like 4 hours, I'm just kind of laying in bed, just thinking about shit. But I would literally be sleeping, and I just go, I need sleep. Like, I just need to go to sleep. There's times when I need naps. And I think that was all the bread and shit, where it's like, it's all the carbs, and I was just gaining weight. I don't know what it is, man. Well, I mean, I guess it had to have been that. But, like, if you don't have money to afford meat, and especially nowadays, man, not many people could drop $30-40 on a meal. I know I can't. I'm not going to buy that much fucking steak. Like, I'm not buying 4 steaks for literally like, what, $250, right? That's like a legit like bill payment. That's a car note. You know what I mean? A monthly car note payment. Probably nowadays it's like $500 a month. But I remember, I think my bill was $250 a month. That was, again, 10 years ago. Actually, legitimately, I got it in 2015. So 10 years. My car is 10 years old. Hopefully, I want to keep it running. There's some stuff I gotta fix. I'll get an oil change, and then I'll tell the guys no. All of the stuff that they're trying to get, but I might save up some money and just drop some real shit so that I can get it fixed. It's a good idea, right? And this will be like, when I'm listening to my podcast, they'll, hey, Mediumjay, damn well you gotta get your fucking oil changed this weekend. That's why it's on Friday. You'll be listening to it a little later on the week, and you'll go, oh yeah, you gotta do that. That's what you gotta do, because there's so many things, like, there's a lot of things you gotta do, especially with, like, dealing with my life. I gotta fucking, like, I started chilling back with my buddy Mitchell, man, like, and bro, like, I'm just gonna get the RIPs out of the way, because Mitchell is, like, he's the homie, and we made music together, and he was one of my best friends, right? Like, he was the part of the boys, right? Like, me, Taylor, Jesse, Mitchell, we all chilled together, we drank together, we partied together, and it was some of the funnest times. And I went out with him last weekend, and this is probably, like, why, like, there was a crazy, last weekend was crazy. We ended up going to Hooters, sat down, talked. I kind of was putting it off because I heard some things that he was, like, he was smoking crack and doing coke. He was just deep into drugs, right? He had but Mitchell, he had a hard time. He went homeless. He trusted some chick. She fucked him over. lost his place again. But he's definitely like, there's choices in your life, man, and he's definitely making some of the worst choices you can make in history. Cause like we all, like, if I came out of jail and went, I'm just gonna fucking drink and do drugs about it, right? Like, man, I can't. Like, I legitimately, there's a point when I applied to almost like 100 different jobs, and all of them either said no or like, criminal record. And I'm like, fucking, I have the skills, I have all this stuff, I can get that. I just need a fucking interview so I can talk and explain. And I finally did with Guardline, which it's nice that Guardline's like a good company. It's actually a good company. It's just some of the drivers are a little, some of the times it's such a big company that some things get overlooked, right? Like, it's like Coke. There's shit where you go, this is like the biggest company in the world, and you guys are fucking, and it's policyers, or it's just the overseers, the higher ups go, fuck them, right? Fuck them, fuck our customer. They could be like that, right? It's such a big company, you can go, fuck our customers, right? And I'm not saying specifically Guardline's doing that because I work for them, but every company has that. Like, we're just for the shareholder. Honestly, like, we're about us, right? Like, they buy our stuff, and we do the best we can for them. But like, you go like, why are we not doing more in this area? Which I would love to. If I could talk to the bosses, I could probably be a guy that can oversee things. But again, I'm a nigga, man. And I told that Nigerian guy, this is the thing about Africa and Canada, right? And every country, state, province, the racism exists still. At the end of the day, the people in power tend to just, get the guys that are like them. You know what I mean? And in terms of race, right? Like, look at Joe Rogan. As much as Cat Williams broke down why Joe don't want me on the show, Joe Rogan almost had to. He's a very forward-thinking. I'm attack that right now, because if he just didn't have him on, it would prove the point. But it's after Joe Rogan and Cat Williams, there was maybe like he has Brian Simpson, but Brian Simpson is his guy, right? Brian Simpson's literally working for him. He's an employee, so he'll always have Brian Simpson on the podcast. Out of all the scientists, Neil deGrasse Tyson was on maybe once, right? They're like, if you look at how many black people are on Joe Rogan, even comedians, right? Dave Chappelle is a legend. They toured together. Had him on maybe once or twice, and once with Donnell Rawlings, where Donnell Rawlings stepped all over him, and it was funny, and I don't respect that. But out of all the, like, as much as Joe Rogan likes old school rap, like, there'd be so many points in time where I'm sure these old school rappers ain't doing shit, bro. And get them before they die, bro. These older guys where it's like, what is Run DMC doing? You know what I mean? What is, I'm sure those guys, in terms of legacy hip-hop, would, LL Cool J, bro. I don't think he's ever been on show. All of these, like, literally, an Impact, 50 Cent never, it just is what it is. And I'm not even saying Joe Rogan specifically is racist or anything like that, but you don't need every year to get the fucking Bone guy. The Alaskan Bone guy. Hey, Joe, this is me, my impression of Joe Rogan. Joe, the Bone, hey, Bone guy. John Reeves, the Bone guy from Alaska. Listen, did you get your bones back from the museum? No, I didn't, Joe. End of the podcast right there. It's the fucking Bone guy. Ooh-wee. The fuck, I need my goddamn bones, Joe. Joe, I need my goddamn bones. I love fucking bones, Joe. Got a big fucking graveyard full of bones. Joe, I gotta ask you, I'm gonna be real with you. When you die, can I have your bones? I need fucking bones, Joe. I got so many fucking bones. The fucking museum's taking my fucking bones. But now I got guns, Joe. I got fucking guns. So they could come on my property, but I'm gonna fuck I got fucking so many bones. And they keep asking, they go, some of these bones are people. Those bones got there legitimately. I don't know what happened, all right? But just remember, you might wind up, if you come looking, you might wind up food for the wolves, Joe. It's the fucking bone guy. Like, I like him just because in my mind he has a very deep voice and he's a man. But I fucking imagine him as a Rick and Morty character. These fucking bones! Those fucking bones, Joe! Those bones got there legitimately! I don't know, man. I just, as dumb as it is, it's like, so did you get your bones back? No. End the podcast right there. End it right there, right? Joe Rogan, I was listening to the Chess Master. There's this Chess Master. And I go, this is interesting. But definitely it could have been a 30-minute conversation with fucking the guy that is like an autistic chess guy where he's like, yeah, just kind of, and Joe Rogan's such like in his ways where it's like, why don't you just get, you get active, you work out and eat healthy. And he's like, I played chess though. Like it was just very like, I don't think he understood. He's like, but like, you could take vitamins. The guy's like, no, yeah, it might have an impact, but, and I just remember going like, that's just like a normal guy that like just doesn't really care about, he's a chess master. I think he just cares about chess and playing chess. Some people just have that interest. And having Tony Hinchcliffe, sit there silently for fucking the 2 hours, it was weird. And he, Tony Hinchcliffe goes, well, it just very like, there's a couple of questions where that is like there's just so, and it's all these white guys, man. And then Woody Harrelson's on the last one. Maybe there's a new podcast, but bro, like Cat Williams like called it out in terms of like, and again, like when a black guy, and here's the problem of being a black guy, like when you call it like it is, and then people, like the whole world changes for a little bit, but then it goes back to, because black people, we don't have anything to really stand on. We don't have good footing in America. We don't have good footing in Canada. Hell, even in fucking Africa, where fucking the majority of black people, we're getting our shit taken. The rug is being pulled underneath us in terms of like China's buying. Everyone just buys this shit, and they don't even buy it from us anymore. They just give a guy that fucking is on top, and he turns a blind eye to them stealing shit from Africa. It's tough, man. It's tough. I wish we were better as a community. But the problem with black people, especially, is like, and the most corrupt white person will still have a fuck up son, like Don Trump Jr., right? He'll have like, or Hunter Biden. No matter what you do, you're still gonna look after your son. Niggas, and especially me too. I can specifically say this for me. Like for whatever reason, the way my family works, my fucking son, I honestly don't feel anything. And it's sad to admit this, I don't feel like I have to do anything. My baby mama legitimately is like, you don't have to do anything, right? Like, actually, I'd prefer if you didn't be in my son's life. And I went, it's like that. And I'm like, I'm not even fighting in court for it. I'm not doing nothing. And I don't know if it's definitely, in the long run, it's going to affect the family, right? In the long run, I would love to build with my son. I would love to teach him how it is to be a man. And like, but in every aspect of when I try to talk to my baby mom and go like, yo, I never had a dad, and there's a piece of me missing, where even if my dad wasn't the best person, having a man go like, listen, son, at the end of the day, like, there's shit that just women don't understand, and like uncles and grandpas and blah blah blah, but directly directly fathership, you don't like this shit is like I get mad at my dad sometimes. Like I think of the last podcast a few years back, I was like just pissed off at my dad. But in reality, man, I probably am not ready to go to Africa. I'm probably not. I'm fucking whitewashed. Look at my skin. I'm whitewashed. Like to have a guy just sit down and go, listen, son, you ain't shit. And it's your dad, right? Like, yo, you ain't shit. It's humbling. It's almost like you need that. And I think a father could really say that. Like, a mom will go, you're perfect the way you are, da, da, da. And it's like, yo, no, life fucking day in and day out, even if you do the right thing every single day, some guy can just come along and steal your shit. That's just how it is. They'll steal your Breaking Bad type shit. Like, you're working together on a business or whatever. The guy's out there making millions of dollars, and Bryan Cranston's sitting at home teaching fucking 12th grade chemistry, right? So bad that he had to start selling meth, right? And that's life. That's the reality of, that's why that's such a good show in terms of like you just gotta, like, as a man, I'm legitimately thinking about, like, I have to do something almost that fucking is corrupt. And obviously I'm not going to say anything legally on the podcast because obviously this is but it's like you almost have to sell drugs now to get to us to own something, right? Like, I'm making good money. I'm a job where I'm like, I could look at myself before taxes six figures before, but after taxes comes, you go, God damn, a lot of that's being eaten by taxes. So if there's some way where I can, like, even just legitimately claim something as a business expense and that way get reverted back so that I can legitimately get a rebate at the end of the, get some of my taxes back. But life is tough, right? And I think men and like specifically when talking to their sons, they go like this it's not a game. It's not all peachy rainbows and sunshine, right? Like, your mom will tell you you're this and that, but that's good for daughters. Women can deal with women, but even mothers with daughters, the balancing act is like the love you need from a dad is a tenfold, because a lot of women being raised by women when have daddy issues end up, the abundance of porn, because fathers, and especially, and Kanye West, I wish Kanye would talk about what he did talk about, like, not the Jews being all evil, but it's the manipulation of taking the man out of the nuclear family. There's so many women that are just comfortable having kids and going, thank you for your semen, bye. I want, like, the next girl that I knock up, I want to somehow, like, in contract write, like, that I have to be a part, even if you claim you don't need money from me, you don't need shit from me, I can't help you in any way. I want to still be a part of my next child's life, whether it's a, daughter, handicapped, autistic. I want to be a part of it because I want to raise somebody. And I feel like if I already missed out on this, my son, and again, it's like, he's only 3 years old. But I feel like the wildest thing is, like, until he's old enough to really understand why I'm not in his life as consistent as a regular dad. Like, it's like, you can't, I gotta wait till he's old enough, like 14, 15, 6. But even then, man, I remember I was really, like, growing up, I'm like, my dad wasn't there. Daddy wasn't there. Take me to the fair, change my underwear. Daddy wasn't there. And it sucks in that term. But then, like, growing up, I started realizing, I'm like, I saw 19, 20 years old, I listened to Patrice O'Neal, and he goes, yeah, my dad wasn't a man. I would have, to me, my dad was just a nut. I was just a nut. Just imagine when you fucking bust a nut. I'm going to take care of all the times when you're jerking off. There's times when I'm jerking off, I don't even plan on where I'm gonna shoot my load. I shoot it on my chest and wipe it off later, right? That's how it feels. Like as a guy, there's a lot of. It's very easy to find that, but it's like, all right, well, my son's growing up without a father. I know I need to be a man. I know I need to be, but it's like to trying to do this rap shit, trying to get all my shit together, trying to get everything. It's tough because hell yeah, oh yeah, baby mama will probably start calling me maybe she won't even if I become successful, but I'm already successful in the sense that I got a good job, you know what I mean? I could, make money and blah, 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 save up. I legitimately, in my future, I can plan and see that I will probably have a condo within the next, I'll have enough saved up probably. I want to shoot for this summer, which is going to be ridiculous, and it'll be painstakingly tough. But if it's a year that I'm living with my mom, so I can be more established, it's whatever. I just got to eat shit right now. But again, it would just be nice to. It'd be nice to be appreciated as a man for not what I provide, but just for being, for being yourself. And I think a lot of men feel that way. Like it's like the average male fantasy is that he's loved and accepted for who he is, right? And it's wild that prostitutes do. Like, some of these prostitutes that I've been messing with, right? Like, I'll go through like, this is for all the people that get to this far in the point of the podcast and fuck with Mediumjay, because it's like Goldilocks and the three hoes, bro. It's fucking Mediumjay and the three hoes, right? There's this one, like, I got a big thing for Asian girls. I love Asian chicks. There's this chick, this Chinese chick, a short little girl, fucking tight as can be, right? Fucking, we fuck like rabbits, right? But like, she kind of put me on game in terms of like, cause she was a girl that had girls under her, so she was like a bottom chick. So she was like, just through her actions and just being around her, I picked up a lot of like, how to really just, not get a girl to do, like, I'm not big on getting girls to just do that, like, just, manipulation type shit. But the swaying of like, how to get a girl interested and keep that composure of yourself. It's like, a lot of it was confidence and confidence building. But I remember there was this one time she was like, before you were with me, you were fat. And I'm like, I lost the weight, right? Like, maybe you could claim your motivation, but I'm like, no, I lost the weight myself, right? Like, you can't, like, that's where I was like, I kind of took a step back. But I loved her regardless. Then there was this other chick, which was one of her friends, and then they ended up fighting, and then they ended up not fighting. I remember I'd go back and forth to each of them, and then I'd like talk about like what one would say to the other. And they're just prostitutes, right? But maybe they're playing me like ping pong. Either way, there's one girl that was very submissive and but I fucked the shit out of her one time. And she squirted, right? And it was fucking amazing, right? First and only time I ever seen actual squirt. And I thought it was a myth, and I was like, wow, I did something right. I did something right down there. But like, she eventually, we would talk and everything, and she was very like a loving kind of, like, almost like a mothery figure, right? Very that. So it was like one girl was very, I guess too hard on the soul. You know what I mean? Like, the first one. Second one was too soft. This next one, this girl Kiki, bro, she's Korean. Reminds me of like a chicken from the Squid Games, where it's like, I can't trust her. It's the perfect balance of like she's like, every time I fuck her, she's like, I love you, I'll do anything for you. She was like telling me, I want you to move in with me. And I don't know if she's serious, because we don't ever follow up on anything after the deed's done. But she's like, take me out to dinner, take me do this, do that. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. But it's been months and I just fuck her every time I see her. I fuck her, and she wants to make these plans, and I go, I love her and everything like that. And she's like, we're gonna be girlfriend and boyfriend, and I'm gonna have your babies and all that shit. And I go, it's like she's deep in the she's a prostitute, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, this would be a wild play if I just started fucking. I took her, and then, you know what I mean, just turned a hoe. Dude, the first ever Mediumjay turned a hoe into a housewife. And it's like, I gotta fucking just remember that it's probably gonna be difficult. Like, she's got a lot of problems that I don't see right now, and it's like, it is what it is. But at the same time, be crazy, right? I need to talk to my other because I got another side prostitute. There's one chick that I'm fucking, this fat ass white chick, bro, beautiful, like mid face, small titties, one of the biggest asses you ever seen, perfect booty, perfect fat ass white girl. Just a normal chick though. She was talking to me about some basics, just basic white girl shit. And I remember going like, oh, like, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you, and then like, yo, we're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna now it's like these girls are like therapy, bro. It's like why go to BetterHelp, tell a stranger your problems, when like I can like, and I talk to these girls about like, just like, yeah, you know, this and that about my life and this and that, I don't know what, just lost my job. Like, some of the best, you know, fucking times is like, I just, you know, I lost my job, or I just got out of jail, and it's like, oh, that's sorry to hear that, you know, I hope you feel better. It's amazing, and obviously for that kind of like, because it's like rented perfection, right? Like, you just but at the end of the day, man, I definitely got to tell this white chick. I got to lay it out with this white chick. This is so dumb. It's the dumbest shit. I'm going to go, listen, white girl that fucks, that I pay to fuck. This Korean chick is getting too, like, lovey-dovey with me. Like, what's the best options, right? Like, she really, like, she wants me to do all this stuff. And, like, I have been kind of, like, I turn my back on her in terms of like, yeah, that's nice, and I say that and I go, yeah, anyways, I'll see you later, you know, see you next time. But like, if I'm like, I don't want to move forward in that, but also like, I do feel like I should take her out to eat and maybe, you know, go dancing with her, right? She's a nice young little Korean chick. I want to get the best of her, and if I could turn it into a relationship where I'm not paying, it would be just financially better, right? I'll tell that to the prostitute, the white girl, and then hopefully that'll spark a weird kind of interest in her, which the end goal would be to get her black friend now, because she got a nice fine black chick, right? This is to get her black friend that was chilling on the couch while I fucked the shit out of her that first time, right? Tell her that, then she'll go to her black friend. Her black friend will go, wait a minute, this guy actually might just do the impossible of fucking turning a relationship into a, well, he never had that relationship with me, so I'll like end up dating that black chick, and I'll bring it all back home to black-owned business, baby. You know the fuck going on. I'll give that money. I'll give the majority of half my shit to the black girl, bro. The light-skinned cutie with a booty, you know the fuck going on, man. Keep it black, you know what I mean? Stay black, baby. Stay black. Black power. Black power. Power to my people, bro. You know what's going on, bro. I ain't no race traitor, bro. It's just I'm taking steps to go through to be the perfect lover for fucking, the perfect lover for that, you know, jungle bunny. No. Oh man. Oh jeez. You know, that's been the weekend show. It's not. We're not gonna end it. Well, we'll end it on that because it's hilarious. It's not. And again, it's good to think about that. That was amazing. I'm glad I did this podcast because I was like, in the back of my mind, I go, it's silly. But if I word it out and I say it out loud, I go, it's actually not that bad. Like, dude, it would be the incredible play of a century to just have a bunch of prostitutes and not pay for them. Like, just be chilling with them, and hell, have them give me a percentage of their money, their hard-earned money, because some of these girls go like, I've been making $8,000 to $10,000 a year, not a year. that'd be so sad. A month. And I go, fuck, if I can slide into being a pimp in the modern age where like fucking like dudes are paying for fucking pictures of pussy by the hundreds of, $50-$60 for a couple of pics, right? A couple of videos of her fingering herself go for wow. If I can get in there, man, and a lot of girls go, I'm attractive. Like I don't know what to do with that. I'm attractive. Like, what? Should I start pimping? Like, I gotta get in there to own a house. And once I own a house, turn it into like the Playboy Mansion. Granted, eventually it all comes crashing down, and I have to literally die or fake my death and disappear to some place like Cuba or something, because the inevitable fall of being a fucking giant pimp with all of these fucking women doing your bidding is that, you get Diddy or fucking, you become fucking Hugh Hefner. You become looked at as like this guy that takes advantage of women for sex trafficking. When in reality, sex trafficking, right? Like, let's break down sex trafficking. And here's the thing. Everybody's gonna have sex, right? And everyone needs money, right? Right? And it's the oldest profession in the fucking business, right? Like, be real. Be real with yourself. And they go, sex trafficking is defined as, like, this is the definition, right? Like, you think, like, it's like you got a bitch in your basement and you ship her off into a container, or, you Russian brides where you get a girl from Russia and she gets flown FedEx in a little box, and you open her up, and then she's like, you throw in your basement, chain her up, and you just fuck the shit out of her after paying a dude $50,000 on the dark web, right? That's like that's the range of it. It's like the worst aspect of it. You get a girl from fucking China, put her in a shipping container on a boat. She comes to Canada and she has no identification or anything, and she just rent her out to fucking random dudes of the night, right? That's what I think, and most people think sex trafficking is. But also sex trafficking, which is the fucking weirdest gray area, is like, I'm talking to this one girl on Instagram, and she's like, if I come through, she's in, I don't know, New York, but I'm like, come to Toronto, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Or I'll set you up with a hotel where I'm in my city right now. We'll chill, drink. Obviously, we've been talking for, you suck my dick and blah, 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 blah. You do some shit. But I'm going to fucking, since you're fucking coming from America to Canada, you coming here, I'm going to fucking make sure you got money to eat, you got money to this and that. That's also sex trafficking, too. That's sex trafficking, because you're flying a chick out from over the border, and you're giving her money and you're having sex with her, right? That's sex trafficking, which it's like, at that point, pretty much anything you do across the border with a chick, and sex and money, which again, money, sex, and but if you turn it into a religion for some reason, right? It's all blah blah blah. It's all classy, it's cultish, right? But it's also like, it's a cult. It becomes a cult crime instead of like, which is again, the laws sound good on paper, and the lawyers are constantly pulling their hair out, trying to figure out what you can and can't do, and every single person is just making it up as they go in terms of their life, right? Like, that but it's funny that Diddy's lawyer just gave up, because I would probably be able to fucking if I went into legal the legal thing, I'm one of those guys that would probably like think really hard about abstract shit, like to the point where I'd be like fucking Johnny Cochran with the glove don't fit. You know that you can't sue the bitch or whatever. If your dick don't fit, you know what I mean. That bitch ain't legit. But yeah. Anyways, that's been the weekend show. Make sure you check out my music, Mediumjay, Cash Leaders. I've been writing a little bit of my lyrics down, trying to get the lyrics back up. It's fucking hard, man. I got so many songs. Ops, the mixtape, volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all packaged on the playlist on the Real Mediumjay on YouTube right now. Check it out. I shared it. I'll probably put in a link in the description. I'll put my music down. Impractical Smokers out now. Might be releasing more music. I'm not really sure. I recorded some shit a few weeks ago. I just finally got the mix back today, or a few days back, on the weekend actually. Listening to it and whatever on this Monday. Not really enjoying it. I'm more so like, Like when I went to the guy's studio, it was his homemade studio. I know if I pay for it, it'll probably be better sounding. Could probably mix it a little bit better. But it is nice to have that like option. But again, when I went to the studio this Saturday with Trey, my buddy, he brought over some chicks. And then like it was like him and his buddy and me, and then the chicks brought over a friend too. So it was like 4 guys to 2 girls. And like I just remembered going there and I'm like, I want to make some music. And these girls are getting it, and because I was so trying to make music and trying to think about like, should just be making music right now. Girls are like, oh, why not just party? So we ended up just fucking drinking with some bitches. I had to go to work early. The girls went back to fucking Selkirk. They had a hotel staying here. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to fuck, but it would have been better to make some more music. And that's where my head's at, just trying to make more music. So I'm glad that people are fucking with me. I'm glad that I'm out there. I just wish I had more of a social media gathering and more of a buzz. I wish more people would share this fucking podcast. If you like what you're listening to, hit the button, hit the notification bell. Do you know what I mean? Like, now is not the time to go, like, yo, I love this guy, but what happened to him for the last few months? I was in jail, nigga. I was in jail. Nigga, I was in a 4x12 foot cell with a weird Haitian dude with scars on his face. And I was with some crazy motherfuckers, man. And then I got out and I turned it around. I'm back. You know what I mean? I'm back from the dead, like on some real Naragi type shit, bro. Like I thought this nigga was dead. My friends Taylor, Mitchell, they're like, yo, what happened to Jeff? Where did he just disappeared for 3 months? Just gone off the face of the fucking earth, and I'm back resurrected. So please, all it takes is you to just hit that fucking button, and we can build up an empire. And once I have an empire, promise. You know what I mean? If you're around me, I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna be one of those guys that gets people pussy. Like I go, yo, you fuck him, go fuck him. And again, it's Diddy type shit, but it's not. It's like, yo, we're all gonna have some pussy. Yo, I'm paying for this chick to fuck you, bro. Just fuck her, bro. And then two years later, like, can't believe you're trying to fucking go back on. It's like, yo, man, I'm just wondering what happened to the money. Like, we made some music. You know, you took the rights to my music. I'm just wondering what happened. And I go, all those times I got you laid, bro, you think that was free? Smoking a cigarette. All those times I got you pussy, right? If you do the math, you actually owe me $22,000. Your music sucks. You know what I mean? All of it's bots. So that's all inflated shit. Right, you owe me for all the money, huh? And then that's what it comes crashing down. But it's a house of cards, bro. That's how it is, bro. It's like the House of Cards TV show. It's almost like what happened to that show? Why does this suck now? Well, it's almost like it all fell down like a House of Cards, baby. You know what the fuck going on? Like and subscribe, do everything that you can, and if I'm not here on the weekend, probably look out for Wednesday. That's now my days of when I get off on Wednesday. No pun intended. I get off my days on Wednesday, and weekends. If I'm like trying to hustle to make some money, I will probably book a shift and I'll be working weekends and shit. So this is the days where you might be able. I might just switch it, no, and it's gonna be tough because it's the weekend show. Or I'll just honestly, I could just record and delay it till the weekend. But having to come out on Wednesday, fucking Thursday, and then just no one cares. I'm literally just. I'm in the beginning stages of the podcast. I'm in the beginning stages of trying to be famous. I'm in the beginning stages of rap too, ultimately, which I don't think I am because I've been making music for so fucking long that I feel as though that I should have some sort of be in the door. Even if I'm underground, I should be able to be like, I'm an established guy. If you listen to my music, people go, you know what you're doing, right? It's music and hip hop especially. Like, you put in your 10 years, but I would love if like guys would call me up and go like, yo, listen, man. And part of the industry shit, but it's all industry fuckers. But if they were just like, you know what, man, Kanye West, hit me up. You know what I mean? Joe Rogan, hit me up. Real niggas that can, Elon Musk, hit me up, right? And you know, we need a song. How right? I like your edge on this. It's gonna be a little bit funny, silly, goofy, whatever. We'll get you on this shit, right? Okay, well, you know, we want a song, an anthem for this. Billboard, put me on the thing. I seen this dude that I'm following, and it's like he has one album out, and he's like touring. He's doing Toronto, touring Canada. And the Sebastian G something Gabriel or Sebastian Gaskin or something like that. And I watched him and I'm like, I don't know what he's doing because I never really seen I seen a few clips of his music and all that stuff. But I go like, in the music industry, bro, it's almost like music doesn't matter. Doesn't. Because he was like with the people. He was with people. So if it's like, yo, and I'm not even hating on the guy. I'm just like, I remember like hearing these people, and it's like if they're just with somebody that knows somebody, and then they are like, he's got a billboard in Toronto, and he's fucking selling out some Apex Center baseball, doing something where it's like he's doing big things, and I'm like, I'm not jealous or envious. I'm like, I just go, fuck, man, it really is just if I know somebody that knows somebody, I'm to the moon, right? Like, I wish, like, someone out there would take a chance on me, and it's like, it's that deep down, I know I'm made for something bigger than just sitting at home doing a couple podcasts, making music. But it's like, man, when you look around at where people are at, I have to go through the stages, and this is the music industry. I have to go through the bummy bars where it's just nobody. I have to go through that where it says nobody, and it's like, what? And it sucks because one millionaire or billionaire that just goes, I like this guy, and we're gonna now change his entire life career, right? Justin Bieber was a dude just sitting, playing guitar, his heart out, a little kid. And then, you know, Usher's fucking manager, bro, Scooter Braun, was just walking by and went, we'll take that, and then you're to the moon, right? Like, it's like that little thing, and I joke about this all the time, but it's like, if Justin Bieber just tweets out my shit, I'll probably be, my life will change. But do I want it to, am I waiting for Dr. Dre or Eminem or 50 Cent to come sign me? Or do I want to just do it the hard way where I legitimately don't take even Eminem and 50 Cent's route or Justin Bieber's route where someone's above me? There's a lot of strings that are faulty that people think that they're above me, right? And like, if I'm getting in with these guys, you know, the DJs and, you know, I mean, all my friends and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we're not like contracted in. We're not, they're not the ones, if we all build together, and I want to get all of these guys, all of the rappers in my city, if we all just built together something that is undeniable, because right now we're all just kind of racing each other in a line, and like, we show up, we give ourselves handshakes, pass on the back. We can all just, I could sit everybody down and do that Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio, like, yo, you make music, yeah, you make music, but you also like y'all sell drugs, we got part-time jobs, full-time jobs, whatever. We need to build something, and I honestly am not the best in terms of doing the work. I'm probably the best in like giving the motivation to get the guys to eventually find the work, but like it'd be like we all have to stop thinking as music as like some party shit. This shit is like a fucking job, bro. And a job, most of the time you go to your job, you don't like it. You don't like waking up at 6 a.m. to fucking work. But at the end of the fucking pay period, when you look at your check and you go, God damn. I hate all the hours that I was working, all those days, for fucking those 14 days that throughout the work week I was working. It all makes sense when you look at your check at whatever, at the end of the month when you're doing all this shit, you're like, God damn, I'm glad I did that album. I'm glad I got these guys on. I'm glad that this, that, and we promoted the shit, and we did that and that. And there's a whole lot of shit that I'm probably missing. Because I could be doing better, and I could be doing more. But it's also like, we need, like, no... Rome wasn't built in a day, and even better, it wasn't built by one guy, right? The pyramids weren't built by one guy. It takes a lot of fucking work, right? And a lot of it's gonna be slave shit. But hopefully I'm the guy with the whip. Just end on that. Yeah. No. If we and this is what with music, it's so like the sporadic, right? Like the work ethic is sporadic, so it's tough to get the guys all together, and it's tough. I want to get Mitchell back into, take him out of where he is. Because he's right now in this weird loop of being trapped. Fucking just get a couple prostitutes, get him a threesome, get him laid, and go, listen, man, all that shit, you got fucked over from some chicks, blah, 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 blah. You don't need to do crack about it, bro. Like, and if you're doing crack, just remember, just don't go back to those fucking bitches that are getting you in that trap. Because, bro, like, pussy, you know what, motherfucker, bro, what no pussy does to a motherfucker is one thing, right? Oh, he's a little isolated, being quiet, shy, maybe fucking nervous is one thing. But being completely ruined and like your whole life is down the drain. Like, you were with this chick, you guys are smoking crack together, and all of a sudden she goes to her dealer and just, some random guy and fucks him and leaves you and takes off on the 2-bedroom that you guys are living in and blah, 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 whatever. And you're just left shit out of luck, right? Like, so many girls have been on the prowl of ruining guys, taking half their life, and the guy is broken. And I remember going, like, I was at Coca-Cola once, and there's this guy, and like, I never seen him again, man. He just kind of disappeared, bro. And this was like, it's like, yeah, man, fucking wife of like 10 years, had kids together. She just left. We were going through divorce, not a divorce, but we were going through therapy and couples counseling and blah, blah, blah. But just, it all came out. She just, never really truly loved you. Right? I just kind of was with you just cause. And it's like, he's like, for fucking years, we had kids together, this, and he was telling me this, and I remember going, so, fucking, sorry about that, guys. Video cut out. The iPhone storage got fucking, it just ran out of storage, but I deleted some shit and came back. But I was talking about this guy, like, the girl just left me. And I remember going like, fuck, man, I just got to go to work, bro. Like, and he was telling me all this stuff about how, like, this girl broke his heart. And I remember going like, I'm never going to have that problem because I love fucking just prostitutes. And, like, I don't ever let myself get so committed to the point where I'm just going to lose all my shit over a person I don't trust. Right? Like, and it's like, it's been a long time since I really, truly could trust somebody. And if I trusted somebody, and I feel as though I would rather cut the nose to spite the face kind of thing, as opposed to getting my whole fucking body chopped up, right? Like, there's like some guys that just let some of the most wicked people, evil motherfucking women, just ruin them, like financially, all of that shit, and like their life is just like they're a shell of who they used to be. Like that guy, I don't know, maybe he left his job. I don't know what he's doing now, but like the one thing that's like love, guys fall in love with women because they feel as though, I think, they can't do better. Maybe there's like a lot of guys that are like, and I see some of the guys that are like, they used to be playboys, right? Like some dudes that are used to be super players and all this shit, and they're like, now I'm like, they're like, like, cause it's they're getting older, and I guess maybe they given up their player ways, but they're like just falling hard for one girl, the monogamous lifestyle, and it's like, but their whole personality shifts into like, I just love this person. Like every time you see them, it's like, yo, you used to be like that nigga. You used to be cool. You used to be a motherfucker. In high school, you was the man, homie. You know, what the fuck happened to you? Like 50 Cent type shit, bro. Like, yo, a lot of these guys, I don't know if they get their balls clipped. I don't know if it's being around estrogen too much, but like, yo, they're just not who they were, right? Like, and Mitchell, my buddy, like he saw, like, the women took something from him, where it's like, dude, and to imagine just to do crack about it and do drugs and have like, you're like that's not it, bro. Like that's not it. Just, bro, be solo. Like I don't know what it is with like. I've never had that I need pussy so bad that I'm willing to. And yeah, there are some times when, you know, you go through it where you're with chicks, and I always go like, this ain't worth it, bro. I'd rather just go fuck some hoes, right? I'd rather just go fuck some chicks, spend some money. Bro, we went to the Hooters in the strip club. That was like, what, 20, just to look at some chicks that are sexy. And I remember 200 something bucks, and I go, could have been just a night with a chick. You know what I mean? Could have been a night where I guarantee has sex, got some pussy, had a chick at least pretend that she's in love with me. You know, get that illusion going, and walk around for the next week good, right? As opposed to, you know, we went to Hooters, the strip club, had these ideas of girls trying to, and then going back and trying to get laid for free, right? Prostitution is literally the premium of sex, right? You know what I mean? Are you buying? Are you buying? You know, are you signed up for YouTube Premium? No, but it's better. You know, there's no ads on YouTube Premium. You know what I mean? People go, I'm not paying. What is it? Little 30 bucks a month or whatever it is, 20 bucks a month, 10 bucks a month, $5.99. You know, you go to Netflix, or I could do it for free. And then when you go trying to find those things and you're getting your computer's getting a virus or whatever, you're trying to find on those sketchy ass websites, or you're getting ads left and right for dick pills and this and that, and your fucking email gets sent off to some third party sketch place, and you're like, I could just buy Netflix and I can watch the show that I want to watch, and I just gotta pay for it, right? It's like you just pay for it. It's so much easier, and you're like, there. And you hit the Staples button. That was easy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Getting, like, with nowadays, bro, it's like, and yo, you could, and yeah, every now and then you do find a girl that could be the one. But it's work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort on both half. You gotta hope that it's the one, because yo, dude, nowadays, bro, like, the imbalance is ridiculous with some of these chicks, right? And fuck, it could be the one at the time, right? To break it off, and you make that commitment, and then 5 years down the road, you realize, oh shit, this bitch is crazy, or this bitch is, you know, she's all of a sudden, she let herself go, right? Having, like, some of the, you know, some beautiful chick with a beautiful personality, all of a sudden, she just starts eating and gains, you know, crazy amount of weight, and it's like, yo, this is not what I signed up for, right? Like, and maybe you're doing all this, or maybe and with women too, it's the same thing. They're taking chances, right? And a lot of women loves just sitting there by the fucking finish line and picking that winner, right? So guys always want to excel and just be the best. And then now that I'm a winner, now that I got all these gold medals, and I'm established, I got a solid foundation, I got a career or a business that is like fucking paying the bills 10 times over. You look around and go, oh shit, like a lot of these women ain't shit, but we'll still fuck. You know what I mean? You gotta pay to get rid of them though. That's in the Weekend Show. Buy some whip.